Greetings from Florida. Here we're working on a 2012 to 2017 Hyundai Azera. It's the left front window regulator. And this is a video brought to you by Power Up Auto. If you're in Tampa Bay and you'd like me to do this for you, give me a call. I'd be glad to. So we've got just two screws in the door panel. One behind that chrome handle that gets you out of the car. And one under there. Pretty easy there. Door panel comes up. Oh, and there's one more right there. Almost forgot. Then the panel comes off pretty easy. The strip on the top got a little mangled as I took it off. And that was something that I was trying to put back together. And I did it at the end. You can get it back on. It's just a little bit of work. You're going to unhook the bracket that goes to the chrome pull handle. You're going to unhook the wiring harness that goes to the door. And then here I'm playing with this for a bit. I did not get that on at that time. I did it at the end, but I want to get back to the video and show you what's going on here. So we're going to take off the speaker. If I'm not mistaken, 4 Torx 20 screws. These regulators are kind of hard to find too. You don't want to get a used one, you want to get a new one. We found them online. If this video helps you, do me a favor. Oh, check out the one that you have and make sure it's the same one. Like this video. 3 8mm bolts hold the motor on. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was the crash sensor for the airbag, which you're not going to have to unplug, just unscrew it. Always best not to unplug those. Put the window down. A couple 10mm bolts hold the glass on. The one on the left just loosens. The one on the right comes off. Then you should be able to put the glass up. You can take off all the 10mm bolts that go all the way around it. By the way, this video is at double speed, so you don't have to spend 35 minutes watching it. You're going to take off all the rubber grommets. Oh, that's the crash sensor for the airbag. Now what I did here, and I didn't show you, I'm sorry, is you're doing two things. You're going to take off the outside handle. There's a 8mm bolt that holds the bezel on. Remove that. Then pull the handle to your left, towards the back of the car, and it'll come off. And you may have to unplug it too. There's probably a plug on there that's part of the feature where you can walk over the car and press a button and it'll open up for you. Take that off. Then there's another 8mm screw that you're going to loosen or take off, your choice. And then you're going to take off the latch. There's 3 Torx 30 bolts holding the latch to the door. You're going to remove that as well. Which I think I've got. If you have any questions, ask them here on YouTube. I will get to them when I have a chance. So next up, I'm pushing the rubber piece of those cables through the regulator. And we're going to need to remove the latch. I'm turning around so you can see. You're taking off that whole thing because you're going to put the whole thing back onto the new one. It's okay if you break off some of the plastic from the regulator, getting that latch off, but try not to break anything on the white part of the plastic. Sliding everything through, I unplugged the door lock latch assembly. Sometimes finesse, sometimes brute strength. And I'm sorry that that wasn't in the frame, but I just pulled it back to get it off. Cleaning out whatever's inside the door. There we go, got that out. Just slide it right out. And I'm putting the new one on, I believe. Should clip in without a problem. And sliding those rubber covers through. Got to slide all the wiring harnesses through when you're going to plug the wiring harness into the latch actuator assembly. Stringing the wires around all of those plastic clips that keep it in place. Again, if you'd like us to do this for you and you're in the Tampa Bay or Sarasota area, Power Up Auto. If this video is helpful for you, go ahead and like, L-I-K-E, like the video. That'll help other people such as yourself who are trying to find it. Now we're going to put the whole thing back into the door. By the way, on the channels at the top where the glass travels on the left and the right, the vertical channels, a little bit of WD-40 every 3 or 4 months. Lightly, you don't have to soak it, just give it a quick spray on both sides. They dry out and cause the glass to grab. So if you do that, you'll find they last longer, your regulators last longer, the window works better. Putting in a couple bolts right now to hold everything in place while I connect the latch. Maybe I'm putting in all the bolts. The way you can tell if your regulator is broken, if you hear a crunching, grinding sound, that's definitely your regulator. If the glass is falling down in the channel, that's your regulator. The motors generally don't go. Occasionally the switches have been a problem. So now I'm putting in the 3 Torx 30 bolts to hold the latch in place. After that, we're going to go ahead and slide the handle back on. There's a clip you've got to, if I'm not mistaken, there was a clip, a wiring harness that you had to plug into the handle. We do that. And before I put the motor on, I'm just lifting up the brackets a little bit so they line up with the holes. And then you're going to put the motor on before you put the glass into it. Otherwise, if you pull the glass down, it'll just slide the brackets down again. A little plug here for Bosch, B-O-S-C-H, Bosch tools. They're the best. I've had really good luck with them over the years. Now we're going to put the motor on. And those are, I believe, either 7 or 8 millimeters. I can't remember. Oh no, 10 millimeter. I like that. I was wrong about that. Then I brought the glass back down. Tightening that one up, putting that screw back in. Making sure that everything's good with the glass clips. A little bit of WD-40 on the channels, as I mentioned. Put the speaker back in. You may need to reset the automatic on this where it goes up by itself and down by itself. To do that, put the window all the way up and continue to hold your finger on the button for 10 seconds after it's already up. And that should do it. That should reset your automatic in both directions. And this plastic piece right here goes on those 2 cables, and that's what's going to go into the pull handle. So that's kind of important that you remember to put that back on. And I'm going to let you finish watching this on your own. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. If this is beneficial for you, do me a favor, go ahead and like, L-I-K-E, like the video. And thank you for watching. Have a great week.